Okay, here we are, back once again on the cross of planning, and we keep going with the 4-6 profile. When we come to the 4-6, this is one of the ideal four-year places. After all, I'm talking about the cross of planning, which profile is a part of that. So everybody with their various profile on this cross obviously has an advantage time. They are resonating to the cycle. They're resonating to the clonal thing. I don't want to get to 2027 and actually see that it's like to live in a six-line energy, this kind of phenomenon with all my first line, I'm vibrating to the time. I miss the inner truth. Inner truth is the theme, and I'm cooking. There I'm snaking my way, showing everybody the knowledge. I get to 2027, I'll probably lose my voice. So 4-6s have a real advantage, and the advantage is that it's an opportunity for the Freudian voyeurism to be of real value. They are the commanders on the development. Not only that, but only because they are so influential. They can influence others towards either what the skill is itself or identifying with the byproduct of the skill. Everything about the cross of planet is rooted in which trends. It's one of the things that we notice the most in our Canterbury life that we can watch season from season. Particularly if you have young children, you can see clearly what is always changing. There's always this movement, there's always these trends, there's always these moments in form. Look at this desk. You've got four generations of recording machines here, all from different moments of form principle excluding. And there's some forces on the cross that have built them into them that kind of consumer digestibility to be able to get see these things of progressions, this movement. They're very good on this cross. They're knowing at what point the development of a product that should buy it. If you were an idiot like me and you bought a computer 7 years ago, you went into poverty. If you really wanted to go to beauty, you were going to be made poor, only to discover that 6 months later it was half the price and twice as good. And then you're an idiot. You buy that one, only to discover that 6 months later it'll be half price and twice as good. And then you're an idiot. You buy that one. I've gotten to the point where I kept my old idiot machine alive just to stick my finger at all the companies, even though I rarely use it. It's like, be damned with all this. Now, if you're a 4-6 on this, when the first computer comes out, it's like, yeah, okay, I'll wait. I'm going to watch the development of the skills. I'm going to see if I really identify with that if I can. If I'm not going to just buy it because it's a toy and blah blah blah, it's quite different. But again, as always, this is a 4-6. You have a 4-3. You have a childhood that can be distorted by the nature of those that you're involved with. And this 40-37 unconscious at work, so community is very important. That identification with the skills of the community is very important. Being the valuer of the community and the skills, and you're in the wrong community, how distorting that is. The juxtaposition cross of experimentation, 4-1 profile. When we look at the procession of the equinox through global cycles, you will see that all global cycles are only listed according to the right angle. It's very important. The stages of the left angle and the juxtaposition are still there. But this is also about programming the larger cycle, not about propagandizing some other solar system. One of the things to realize is that this age there was a let in to this, and a let in was the juxtaposition cross of experimentation. If you look just prior to 1610, there was a sudden burst. This was the height of the Renaissance. There was this sudden burst of experimentation. You were going to get the first kernels of what we call science. All of that was being nurtured in the late 1500s. But think about somebody who comes in this cross. You're 4-1 and you have to concretize. You need to concretize through skills. You need to influence others to concretize through skills. I have a term for this in political prosperity. We can call this the juxtaposition cross of the lobbyist. Now, if you know what a lobbyist is, a lobbyist is somebody who's paid spokesman for an industry or consumer interest group or human rights interest group who tries to influence people in government to bring legislation or new laws to protect those interests or enhance those interests or whatever. And this is the nature of this juxtaposition cross of experimentation. Don't think of it in terms of experiment itself. Think of it in terms of with its first foundation. This is what we need. This is what we need to do. You have powerful verbally. These are the driving forces that manage to bang on enough doors to get enough money to actually get something to work, to get it going, to get it out there. They honestly don't give a damn about what the results are. Then when they get into trouble, what they're really good at is at motivating and moving energy and moving it, focusing it so that's going to be a focus of the enthusiasm, it's going to be the focus of the identification, and it's going to take advantage of those skills. And of course, like all force, you have a real influence on those around them, and where you see that the most as an archetype is in politics, which is money raising. In modern Western politics, all of these politicians have to raise money, basically not in all European countries, but in some. They have to be able to raise the money. They have to be able to raise money for them who don't really truly know all the policies, aren't exponents, which is what the politics do. Their job is to make sure that they get to the other identity that the politicians kill. What's that party skills? What that party is identified with, and get the energy to keep going to grease the wheels.